Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Shack in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy. I had to do that one just for Tug. I had to do like my, hello, Cleveland. Good morning, Cleveland.
We have a special drop-by guest. He's now making a frequent appearance on the show, the one and only Tug Coker.
Hello, Andy.
You're better at it than I am. I'm going to start doing an impression of you doing an
Yeah, that's
impression
right.
of me.
That's how they all go.
Now, you were just saying before we went live that you love how close you live. It makes it so easy to basically do a drive-by into the Smut Shack.
That's exactly right. I picked up some food at Whole Foods, and I said I'm going to come over and watch you guys do it live. And when I'm done with my food, I'm going to leave. And, I'm going to pop on. I'm excited to talk about my experience at San Antonio. And then I'm going to finish my food.
I like that you're previewing what you're going to do on the show you're doing.
Wow.
Give me the rundown of what's about to happen.
Here's the teaser.
Yeah. So I drove over.
No,
now I'm sitting here.
Well, we were talking about because Maddie lives like so far away. I mean, for people who don't know L.A., it's like 12 miles. Not that far.
Yeah.
No. He actually, that's
He's like
actually
18 miles.
Yeah.
Goldberg's actually like 22 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
So that takes you like an hour and 15 minutes to get over there. So yeah, you move out of Santa Monica, Venice, we'll never see each other again.
But do you think we're dramatic about it in LA? Do you guys think that? Or just, no, this is what it is?
No, of course we're not dramatic. Like if Maddie lived 25 miles away from you in Tennessee, you'd be there in 15 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's bad. Every time I do this, I feel like the Californians, the SNL sketch.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, how do you get there?
But you know what? That's what's funny about that. They give me different routes all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go over the mountain, sometimes through the valley, sometimes through the 10, through downtown. Whatever Google tells me. Not Waze, fuck Waze.
Owned by Google.
It is?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the DirtBalls for voting me second out of 4 guest hosts in the guest host DirtBall madness.
And I got to say,
congrats to Yoshi. Congrats.
I got to say, really, I thought that was an unfair poll, and I'll tell you why. I think Yoshi does his best work as a guest and not as a guest host. I really think people were sort of voting as Yoshi as the guest, when in reality, I think to me, you're my top-ranked guest host. Like when I think who should fill in when I'm gone, I think Tug Coker.
I really appreciate that. But the reality is, and Joe, you played sports, Annie watched a lot of sports. You just got to take your lumps and say, I'm going to get better. I just need to get better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back every day, work hard, and I'll be back next March. Ready to
So
rock
on the
and roll.
way here from Whole Foods, you ran over a homeless guy.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And he picked up some porn.
Yeah, that's right.
So he officially is going to match Yoshi.
Yep.
So, Tug, you went to the Final Four, or you went to the championship game.
I went to the championship game. Yeah, I was looking at ways. As a lot of you know, I'm a Michigan fan.
So you went to 3 of their games of the tournament.
That's right. I was
Half of them.
both games in the West Regional, and then I tried to make the semifinal work. Couldn't happen, but I flew out Monday morning, went basically straight to the game. And I got to say, a couple of my buddies texted me, "Are you going to San Antonio?" San Antonio is not the greatest city. I had a blast. I went to Atlanta 5 years ago, San Antonio this year, and San Antonio for what it is, it's awesome. Like the Alamo Dome is walkable from downtown. The Riverwalk is tons of bars. On the Riverwalk, you could go to CVS and buy beers and just sit on the sidewalk. So everyone was like,
there's an open container
Open
policy
container,
on
open container.
Riverwalk.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Or
Smart.
I guess probably Texas in general is probably like a.
Texas has an
Yeah.
open container and open gun container
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically the rules.
So, I mean, you saw and the thing that's cool about the Final Four is it's basically a congregation of so many college fans, guys from Kentucky who can get together with their friends every year. A lot of the loyal people stayed, and it's basically a party. It was super fun.
Did you have tickets before they made the championship game?
No, but my cousin went, and he's friends with a sports agency, and he hooked me up if I came. So we stayed He stayed for the weekend. I stayed Monday night, watched the game. We had great seats, lower level, probably on the baseline. And it was really fun. I mean, it was fun for the first 15 minutes if you're a Michigan fan. And then Donte DiVincenzo took over.
Yeah. How was that in person?
It was unbelievable. Honestly, I don't know what was it like watching the game. What were the announcers saying about Donte DiVincenzo? Because I've never seen anyone take over. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take over a game like that in person ever. I mean,
Really?
whatever.
I mean, he had, 18 in the first half?
18 in the first, 31 total, but 31 out of 70
yeah.
is like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's half of their point.
Well, I've seen it.
And the block,
87.
like that huge two-handed block.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The straight-up vertical two-handed.
It was like a volleyball block.
That was insane.
Yeah, and the thing about that impressed me watching the game, it wasn't just threes. And I know Kenny Smith was talking about this at halftime. He's saying he is driving, he's spot-up shooting.
Use both hands.
He's getting his own shot.
Yeah.
He's using it in all different ways to get his buckets. And, I mean, I've seen him, he's their third leading scorer. He was averaging about 13 coming off the bench. But, yeah, man, they're good. I know we talked about this today on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the better teams, all-around teams in the last. You were disagreeing with me.
No, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was saying that my comparison was, and Joe, we'll bring in the NBA to bring Joe back in, but
I was like, I hope DiVincenzo ends up with D'Antoni, and
yeah, but
and he's a future MVP.
You look at these great teams that all won by double digits in their run. It's Michigan State 2000, UNC in 09. And then this team, and there's two other teams. I can't remember which ones they are.
Was it 4 or 5? Yeah, they were saying since you basically they always do it after UCLA's run.
Yeah.
The stats, and they were saying since 1975, I believe. Yeah, they were only the fourth team to win every tournament game by double digits wins or double-digit points.
My thing is, I love the Florida team. I'm not a Florida fan at all, but Horford.
Yeah.
Noah when he was, he had a good run.
Yeah.
Corey Brewer is a serviceable pro. I mean, that's 3 pros.
Yeah. Wasn't Lee on that team? Was he? Or
No, he was 2000, 2000.
Yeah.
He lost to Michigan State, actually. But, Michigan State was Mateen Cleaves, good college player, never really panned out in the pros. Mo Peterson. And then Hansborough kind of led the 09 team.
Right.
No, I get that, but I'm saying
I don't know.
just collegiately, just at that level, not when they went to the pros. And I watch a fair amount. So do you. I mean, I can't think of a team. I mean, there are teams, but my point is they are literally one of the better teams of the last 20 years, 25 years, because of just how they play. I mean, let me put it this way, to bring in my own team. They beat the shit out of Xavier twice.
Yeah.
Who also was the number 1 seed. I mean, dismantled them twice. This Villanova team, I think some of those guys might be good in the pros. What do we think about DiVincenzo? I mean, he's only a sophomore. He'll come back next year.
Redshirt sophomore, right?
Is he?
I think because they showed the bucket that they hit against UNC, and he's in a suit, and he's the first guy on the floor. So he's what, 20 now?
Okay, so he's.
And we'll tie that in later. His age. With some of these excellent tweets.
We can talk. Let's tie it in. Why don't we tie it in now?
That was very teasing.
I did tease it.
You love teasing.
I do. I'm a tease. But, you guys saw some of he deleted his Twitter account. And I will say, I went to the Riverwalk after they won, and sort of as a glutton for punishment. I watched the parade. They did a parade down the Riverwalk where they came on a boat.
The team?
The team.
Wow.
The team, yeah.
Were Philly fans out there eating horse shit?
But it's kind of cool to be 20 years old and having 1,000 people around the hotel being DiVincenzo. I mean, so you imagine what this guy's been going, on in his life as a god in Delaware since he was 12 years old or something.
Well, Praino, we talked about it. We actually played hoops yesterday in Venice Beach.
I want to hear more about this. I saw the Instagrams.
Praino and I took on 2 16-year-old white kids from Orange County.
Demolished, crushed them.
We played till 11. I was struggling. We beat them. It was 11-5.
Yeah, it was 11-5.
That's a waxing.
Yeah. But I hadn't played. I haven't shot hoops in forever, and we have had no waves here. I haven't been surfing, so I was like, I just need to get out. And I hit up Ruther, and I was like, let's go shoot some hoops. And I just had to get out there. it was honestly like learning to walk again. Like that's how long it's been since I shot. I'm like, God, like my first 10 shots, I probably airballed 5 times. Which you're also on Venice Beach, so
Wind, man.
depending on what side you're on, you either have like a 20-mile-an-hour wind behind you or 20-mile-an-hour wind in your face, or like if you're at the top of the key, you've got one that's like pushing it. Like that white men can't jump scene is like real, where he's probably kicking it 8 inches to the left.
Yeah.
So it always kind of puts me in my place when I go down there, because I'm like, fuck, I can't even hit the rim. But finally found my shot a little bit, and then Ruther was like, let's play. Well, we played Thust instead of Horse.
Amazing.
And then
well, let me talk about that. This is my thing with Venice Beach, and Praino knows this. Anybody who lives down here knows this. You can't just play by yourself or with a buddy. The amount of dudes that come up, yo man, can I join you? Yo man, can I join? Like yesterday, this is what we had yesterday. We had everything from random French guys to a just physically disabled guy. I mean, I felt bad for him, so he played.
At one point, like Omarion joined us for like one shot, like a pop star that's like from 1997 came over and like
Genuine come out too?
like a full denim suit, and he's like, "Let me get one."
Yo, just one shot.
And he missed it by 20 feet, and his girl was like, "Thank you for letting him embarrass himself."
Yeah,
let's go.
It's like one giant World Star video while you're trying to play. And what I love about Venice Beach is when you tell.
You know what it reminds me of shooting hoops on Venice Beach? It reminds me of like what goes on behind a reporter when they're like out in public. It's just like people like, yo, let me get a shot. And you're like, we're doing something here. Do you mind?
But the best part is they get mad. They don't know how to react.
Yeah.
Joe and I are playing the game of Thust, and these French guys come up.
We had a real game of Thust going.
And he says, can we play? And I go, we're actually playing a game. And they give you this look like you just shot their kid.
Ruther is like the kind of guy who like he'll be like, no, you can't. And I'm just like, let him shoot around. Like, we're just shooting too.
Yeah, I'm kind of a dick.
But then it cleared out, and we played 2 teenage white kids.
Well, and when you guys play with each other, how does the game shape up? Like, who takes on what role?
We don't really have a game plan.
Just dominate. Just give the ball to Praino, right?
Well, here's the deal.
Let Praino eat? Is that what it is?
It's pretty much that.
Praino was eating yesterday. Praino's post moves, once he found his rhythm, he was working the kid down low.
It's just a lot, 16-year-old. Like
he was a tall kid, by the way.
Yeah, he was a tall kid, and he could play. Like he was like he 2-hand like grabbed the rim like while he was like warming up, and but like I have so transitioned in the last few years into like the old man. Like you take a 16-year-old kid down on the block, like a pump fake, he doesn't jump. Now he thinks like, oh, you're definitely shooting. So second pump fake, he jumps up and under. Like a 16-year-old, like he's hopped up on Monster Energy. He's wearing Vans. Like he's jumping at every single pump fake. It's just a matter of, do I make the bunny that he gives me when he jumps?
You know what's interesting? Should we win or should we lose? That's what I was debating when I came home. They're 16. Like, should they beat us?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. If I was that kid, if I had been him at 16, we would have gotten our asses kicked.
I mean, we worked them, essentially.
Yeah. There would have been no chance. I'd have been like, this is a joke. These guys are already winded.
And think about that, guys. They're 16, and Donte DiVincenzo had some tweets that were deleted Monday night when he was 14.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't he 12 and something?
12.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing about Twitter now is like kids. There are adults who had Twitter when they were kids.
Yeah, he was 14.
Like when people go on the Twitter deep dive and they find old tweets of somebody who's an adult that was also an adult, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you were racist as an adult. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as a 14-year-old, I can't imagine. I was saying I tried to come up with like what like the epitome of a Joe Praino 14-year-old tweet would have been, and I came up with, I want to eat a fruit roll-up out of Kelly Kapowski's butt. Like that's what I came up with. I tried to think of like what was I really into in 1993.
Yeah.
Fruit roll-ups, Kelly Kapowski's butt.
I mean, I was way more like it was just sport. I mean, the things that you're going to read about Donte are incredible. And I'll say my thing was why doesn't Villanova should be scrubbing all these kids.
Yeah.
Villanova's a good Catholic. I mean, I think it's a good Catholic school. Maybe it's not. What is it? What is the?
I don't know anything about it. I mean, I know it's
denomination.
a small Catholic school.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, Jay Wright should have his people being like, bro, you're representing us now. Can we not? Can we not?
You know, it's funny. I was at I was at a comedy show on Monday, and right after the game ended, I was actually there with your boy, Michael Costa, who was in L.A. for the week from New York, where he's on the Daily Show now. And he's a Michigan guy, so he was all about Michigan. And he was like, "How about this DiVincenzo kid?" And I was like, the game isn't even over, and they're already unleashing like tweets from 10 years ago.
So that's what happened, because I was at the game, as you all know. So like, as he was blowing up, stuff started to fly on social media. That's crazy.
Like get your ass eats, like life changing. He had one that was just like, "I'm gay."
Well, this is the one that just went, I like it when girls lick my butthole. It's a life-changing feeling.
I don't even know if he should have deleted that one.
Bro's getting his ass licked at 14. He should just get a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Well, he was a stud basketball player in Delaware. Like, good for him.
Delaware's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Dewey, Rehoboth
Like,
Beach.
if we had ran into him on Venice Beach at 14, he would have dunked on Ruther and then gotten his ass eaten by the girl who was like, "Yo, let my man get a shot." Holy shit, you see Red dunking? Come over here, I'll eat your asshole.
But that's what's a few things I find interesting here. Who's the asshole who's the person who is searching his name and search words like lick, butthole? Because that's how you find these.
Yeah.
Right? That's how somebody discovers these.
Oh yeah, it's I don't know what that person looks like, how old they are. I do know that it's a frog in a hoodie is their avatar on Twitter. A cartoon frog in a hoodie absolutely is their avatar on Twitter, or Kobe Bryant, one or the other.
You know, we're laughing, but the sad thing is he deleted his Twitter for things he wrote at 14.
Yeah.
And that people were genuinely mad. The lack of perspective in this, like you were saying, Praino, what would you tweet at 14?
Also, some of these were rap lyrics.
Yeah.
That he was tweeting. Can you imagine if I was just straight up tweeting 2 Live Crew lyrics in 1993? Like, can you imagine now if somebody went back in my Twitter and completely out of context, it was just talking about running trains on girls, and like people would lose their fucking mind. It's like, he's 14.
Well, you were saying, finish what you were saying about Costa.
So I asked Costa
because
I was like, "Hey, you're on the Daily Show. When you get a show like that, or when you're in the process of getting a show like that, I go, does somebody ask you to go through your Twitter and delete stuff?" He's like, "There's a firm that just, I got a call. I went in and they were like, 'Here's 7 tweets you want to think about deleting.'" And he was like, "Sure, whatever.
I want this job."
Yeah, yeah.
Done.
I was like, there's a firm whose job it is to just put your name into Twitter and then just try to find shit.
I guess I'm surprised, because I would never write the things he wrote at 14. I was way behind his sexual exploits. But like, that's 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Six years ago.
Crazy. I think there's so many angles to take on this little story.
But the thing I always think about this with age, like as you get older, the feeling that like every year seems to go by faster. But it actually does go by faster. Like, as you get older, each year is a smaller percentage of your life.
Yeah.
So for us, 6 years ago, I was 32. It was 2 years before I started doing this podcast. For him, that's a third of his life ago. He was a child, and now he started high school, finished high school, played, redshirted at Villanova, and now is the player of the fucking tournament. And like, this is a lifetime ago. It's not even the same person.
And just to bring it back to basketball, do you guys think he could? Your early thoughts as an NBA junkie?
Yeah, early thoughts, and honestly, that was the game. I get, like he certainly looks like NBA. When I look at a guy like that, like it's always a combination of, does their size translate and does their game translate? It's like a guy like Jimmer I was like, he's not going to be a.
Yeah.
And
He went 7 or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
And a guy like JJ Redick, I was like, I don't know. And like it turned out JJ Redick, like it was kind of an I don't know. Like if he had gone to a shit team and not been used right, he could be Jimmer.
yeah.
But you look like I looked at a guy like Steph and I was like, this guy, like this isn't a Jimmer situation. This is like a whole other level of shooter. I was like, I mean, the Knicks had a 7 pick that year. I was like, please get Steph Curry. Please get Steph Curry. But this kid, he's a sizable kid. Like, he wasn't just like a little shooter.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Yeah.
Boards too, gets rebounds. I mean, do you like his chance? What about Brunson? Do you think Brunson has a shot? He has such an old man game. You talk about the reversion to old man game.
Yeah.
He's already there.
I don't know about Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's graduated now, so he's already won 2 titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's only a junior?
He's only a junior.
That's crazy.
He's already graduating. He's
Oh,
a
wow.
smart kid. So they're saying, is he going to come back? Is he not going to come back? He's an All-American, Player of the Year, and a lot of those different awards. I don't know if he translates.
How big is he?
He's not a big guy. What is he, 6 foot?
I'm not sure. I think he's a little bit. They list him a little bigger than that. I'm not sure if he actually
Yeah.
is.
So you remember his
Like
old,
to me,
6'2", I
if you're a certain a certain size, like you have to be a complete and total. Like you have to be like Chris Paul, like he like that's a whole different level
yeah.
of like 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
to be 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
My comp for him was Andre Miller.
That's
like,
exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah.
In watching only a few games,
Yeah.
I was like, I could see him being an Andre Miller, like a Mike Conley,
Yeah.
like a.
But Miller
a
was
serviceable-
bigger, wasn't
I
he?
think Miller is bigger. And
Yeah.
I think also he's probably Mark Jackson is also bigger
Yeah.
and better passer, frankly. But he's got a little bit of NBA pedigree.
Well, they're saying of Nova for sure next year, Bridges is a top 10 pick, and he's going to be a top 10
Yeah.
pick. They list Brunson at 6'3".
So he's probably 6'1",
Yeah.
maybe 5'10".
I don't know.
But just to sum up the for the dirtballs who ever want to go to the Final Four, I would even for Joe, I'd recommend people going. Arizona, you guys were there recently. It was last year, and I think I heard the best places to visit for the Final Four are Indianapolis, New Orleans, and San Antonio. Basically, because they're little smaller towns,
Yeah.
and they're all like in the heart of downtown. Like not only like Dallas, Phoenix, you're driving 15 minutes to get anywhere.
Yeah.
This was like really fun because you really walk outside your hotel and someone's handing you a beer and you're walking to the game. So
Were you recognized? Were people coming out to you like, oh, my God, that's Tug Coker
Yeah.
from the TC Minute?
yeah, they were.
Oh, my God,
they
that's
were,
Tug Coker
yeah.
from Now We're Talking.
And it was embarrassing because I was right next to the Villanova bus and no one wanted to talk to those guys.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was a big deal. I did see a few people out there. Tracy Wolfson was out there working the floor. And
Some of your co-stars, you mean?
my co-stars, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, some of my cohorts in the media world. Amazing experience. I knew as soon as we got down like 6-8, that team we'd run out of gas. It was over.
Did you have a pep talk with Mo Wagner?
I thought he played pretty well at first.
He did. Then he
And
just
then
got tired, they
Got
said.
tired. Yeah.
Now, that was the only, I think, full Michigan game I watched of the tournament. How about his NBA potential?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
To me,
I don't know.
I'm lukewarm on him.
How big is he? Is he proper like 7 feet tall?
I don't think so.
Because then it's like in today's NBA, unless you're shooting threes, like you almost have no place in the NBA. Like
He can hit threes. He has a step back three. But who's my man who's really surprised me from Arizona who went to the Bulls
Yeah.
last year?
yeah, Markkanen.
Markkanen.
Yeah.
Laurie.
Yeah. And had a good year. Like
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
yeah.
no way. And he really
But
played
he's
well.
like almost a swingman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Wagner's
Wagner's
listed at
like-
6'11". He can
Yeah.
shoot, though. He can't
can
shoot
shoot.
the three.
But I went to the Final Four 5 years ago, and that team had Trey Burke, who's in the league on the Knicks.
yeah.
Hardaway is also on the Knicks. But the hero of that run was Mitch
white-
McGarry.
The white
Right.
kid.
Yeah, Mitch
right.
McGarry went to
I
Oklahoma
thought
City.
McGarry was going to be like I thought he like when I watched him I was like he's going to be legit.
I thought he was. I mean, he was a beast. I mean, he was a little lefty, just grabbing every board, and then I think he got hurt a lot, and maybe there's some disciplinary things. So who knows? That's the number one thing I always come on and ask you how you pick your players, how you pick players. If you can figure that thing out, you're amazing.
Well, isn't that the toughest job of any sport?
Yeah. I think it's unbelievable when people can get guests right multiple times. That's why you see Belichick trading down all the time.
I think
because
it's luck. I think there's very few who can identify talent, and I think he's one of them. I think a lot of it's fucking luck. I really do.
I also think. I mean, first of all, we're talking
about system.
We're talking about two completely apples and oranges situation, football and basketball. But I think a lot of times in both of those sports, it's where you end up and what's the situation there, what's the system there, what are the other players around you. Like in the NBA, obviously you're looking at guys, the top guys are the guys who are freak athletes that aren't, like when they're in college, it's like, oh, they haven't become what they're going to become, and that's why we want them. Like we want a guy who's still growing as a basketball player. And a lot of times in college basketball, the guys who are the best players aren't necessarily the guys who are going to translate to the best pros. Like Shane Battier is a perfect example of a guy who's like a player of the year and at best, a role player in the NBA.
So basically define the 3-and-D kind of style.
Yeah.
Him and Bruce Bowen. I mean,
I want to bring this up before you leave, Tug, because, Joe, we didn't talk about this last episode because I think it is interesting. Syracuse, one of their top recruits, Darius Baisley, has decommitted. He's ranked number 9 overall.
Yep.
To go to the G League.
Yeah, I'm going to get a Baisley jersey. Like, this is my shit. This is like, fuck the NCAA, go to the G League.
But they only pay currently $26,000 a year. So I think
he's taking a pay cut from the offer that he got from Kentucky,
from Syracuse.
Yeah.
Did he say why he was going to G League and not to like overseas? Is there any who knows?
Well, he doesn't say, but he said the G League will have the most to offer considering the development league for the NBA. I will get more out of it. Yeah, he did say actually. I'll get more.
He didn't say specifically.
He didn't say specifically. Then I read the quote. I will get more out of this than going overseas. The G League is the closest thing to the NBA. And he will make $26,000 next year. And again, a top 10 recruit. This is the first time this has ever happened.
I love it. I think it needs to happen more. And you know why he probably I know everybody loves to fucking say I'm a slipper, but like LeBron James said this like 3 weeks ago. And now some college kid is like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Like when the best player in the world goes, I'd like to see more people going to the G League. Like that's got to be a factor, right?
Yeah. And, Silver has talked about raising the pay to 6 figures. Dude, if they raise the pay to 6 figures, game changer. Dudes will not be going to all these blue bloods at all. They're just going to go straight to the G League.
And then it's going to be an interesting change in, like, how does that affect the draft? How does that affect, like, I mean, how does he end up in the G League? Like, how does they pick what team he's going on? And then, like, is he developing with that team? Do they have any sort of ownership rights? Could they bring him up in the middle of next year?
Like baseball or hockey?
Yeah, because they are a G League team for an NBA team.
Sure.
So is the NBA the Don in this situation? Like, does the NCAA? Who is the sun in this solar system? Like the NBA? Because then the trust funds of these colleges will be like, listen, we'll give you a kickback. We need money.
Right.
So, I mean, right? I mean, I feel like the NBA is the boss in this situation.
Yeah.
And the colleges have to work with them.
They are.
The
NBA is going to be calling, and Praino brings up a great point. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and then also how it plays out at the collegiate level. Because if suddenly you're losing, let's just toss a random number. Let's say 1 year, 5 of the top 20 players go to the G League. That is drastically going to affect college basketball, not only the actual game, how coaches recruit, and then how the NCAA will then react in their own respect, right? How then they're going to do things moving forward.
But see, the thing is, I think that this is the answer. Everybody's like, well, what do you do? I'm like, this is what you do, because the guys who are able to go to the G League right now or go and play overseas right now, they're ready to compete, or maybe not, we'll find out, but they're the guys who think that they're ready to compete at a professional level. They're top whatever recruits. Those guys are just one and done in college basketball anyway.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that because I'm not a big college basketball guy because I don't like the quality of the game. There are other people who are like, but every game ends on a fucking second shot. I'm like, cool. If you want to watch less quality basketball and it's exciting and any team can beat anybody, then go for it. I don't think it's going to affect how many people go to Villanova basketball games or how many people go to Syracuse basketball games.
It's already been done.
Yeah.
We had a window where we tried it.
Yeah. Like college basketball, I don't think suffers in like ratings and suffers in like, ticket sales. Like
I agree.
the people at Syracuse
People
are going to the
Syracuse.
Carrier Dome for warmth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Yeah, people. That's one thing I saw this weekend is like people just love the school. As the game changes, they're still going to love the school.
It's true.
So and also, what was the last great one and done to like do damage? I mean, was it
Kentucky,
right?
Yeah.
2012
when they won it all.
Yeah.
It was Kentucky. And it's true. I mean, look at Kentucky this year. They struggled all year.
I mean, every one and done guy this year was pretty much a bust this year. I mean, the guys, the high prospects.
As far as their teams?
Yeah, what they did. I mean,
Arizona, bust.
Kid from Oklahoma.
Kentucky, bust.
Kid
Trae
from
Young.
Duke. They lost.
Duke in the Final Eight. They didn't
Yeah.
make, they
Yeah.
didn't, and then
It's true.
And then my boy from Missouri who played like 3 games.
Yeah.
So I agree. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'm always fascinated by the financials of it all.
I mean, like as a Michigan fan, like you're not, and that's a pretty big school. It has a great athletics program across the board. They've had guys go to the NBA. They had the Fab Five, but they also have years where they were competitive, where they didn't have guys who were necessarily. It's like you tell me, or you're like, oh, this year we have some NBA guys. Like I'm gonna care. And next year we don't have. Next year, like you're just like watching college basketball.
Yeah,
You're like watching Michigan basketball.
That's right. I think that's what everybody else is going to do too. I mean, but I'm curious to see how much Adam Silver wants to start dominating people with leverage. Like, the gambling thing. I think he's the most proactive with the gambling thing. He's going to get a piece of that action. He's going to start taking all the players from
He's
the
been the
G
most
League
proactive of all these guys.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what he does the next. I'm excited to see how the winds of change happen in the NBA over football and baseball the next few years because he's pretty.
And I've said in talking about the football, like I think everybody's on the ratings are going to drop because people are kneeling. I'm like, that is such a short term look at it. Like we're going to lose people who are crazy military patriots in the next 2 years. I go, look at the long view. What about the young black athlete who's like, so wait, if I train my whole life to make it to the NFL and I have an opinion people don't like, they can just blackball me from the league? I think I'm going to play basketball. Where the NBA is like aware of how their players are affecting society and having a voice and being like having like political stances and having like if I was like a freak athlete right now and I was in high school, I'd be like, fuck the NFL. I can't even go to the NFL and wear like a certain pair of socks or people are going to be like, that's why you aren't on a team.
Yeah.
Because you wore socks that had a cartoon on it. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, he is right. Praino, especially with today's age, with social media, he's right. You can't have an opinion. I'm glad you brought up the sock thing because it's so true. The NFL is run like military. That's the best comparison. It's run like the military. Everything has to be synchronized and matched and all that. Whereas the NBA, it's more free-flowing and guys can have opinions.
I mean, Odell Beckham wears shoes for warm-ups that he wants to, like, show off. And then he wears different shoes for the game that are, like, league-approved. Meanwhile, in the NBA, LeBron plays on a team that is maroon, gold, and, like, blue. And they wear fucking orange sneakers. Because he's like, yeah, I'm LeBron James, and I'm going to sell a lot of these. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, and that's what. Remember what happened with D'Angelo Williams? Remember when he wore because his mom had breast cancer and he wore pink out of the pink month, and he just kept getting fined. And then then all the cheddar dicks online go, well, Then what if they show up in fucking Ronald McDonald shoes? Well, then who cares?
Yeah.
Are they playing? Are they competing? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what shoes they wear, what wristbands they wear. Who cares?
Is there a way for these athletes? Because football, one of the advantages for these freak athletes is the roster size.
Yeah.
The NBA is not very big.
Right.
So can we push them to baseball?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I feel like the efficiency of or the inefficiency of that market should still be exploited by great athletes.
Yeah, and honestly, neither of us are soccer fans. I don't know if you're a soccer guy.
I'm a soccer appreciator.
But we've
What does that mean?
Like I'll watch a big game.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I
gotcha.
don't follow the whole year, but like
we've sort of been the people that poo-poo on the idea that like soccer's growing. Eventually, it's like how long have we've been saying since '94 when we got the World Cup, like U.S. soccer, blah blah blah. But my thing is like the NFL dropping the ball could be the thing that helps like a soccer. It helps bring back a baseball. Like, I mean, Odell Beckham was for example, was a soccer guy. Like, you get these freak athletes, they could do anything. Like, LeBron James will be the best tight end in football in 6 weeks if he decides to retire from the NBA. Like, that's just these freak athletes. That's the way it is. So I think the NFL doing that, it could spread everywhere. It could go to a million different things.
that's a really good point.
Think about this. Just a big. Think about like the people go, oh, like what happens to a tackle? Well, he's probably going to be a UFC fighter. Like that's a growing. Like there's all kinds of sports where he goes, I can fucking put Monster Energy on the back of my shorts. I can put fuck you on the back of my shorts.
And you know what the analogy is? The analogy is basically what we have in the entertainment world. Notice how everything with all the different streaming channels, with all the different podcasts, you can basically choose what you want and what you don't want, right?
Exactly.
And that's exactly, you're right, what these guys are going to start doing.
The guy on the couch right here is a great example. Like in the modern entertainment world, too good looking for network. He's like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
That's right.
I'm gonna go to streaming.
Yeah.
Burn people's eyeballs.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Praino is making a great point, and I do think that's what's going to happen. It's kind of like now where people, I went at ESPN tonight from some stupid fucking tweet they did, but it's the same thing. People say, oh, well, you do have options.
Yeah.
I don't watch ESPN ever unless it's the game. I don't watch SportsCenter. You know why? I have NBA TV.
Yeah.
I have the NFL Network. I have MLB TV. I can watch all those different sports and the actual highlights.
And I look forward to the day that all the rah-rah patriots in this country are watching 400 slow white guys play in the NFL, and it's like suddenly it's the 1960s again, and they're watching Dick Buttkiss dominate the middle of the field.
Baseball money is guaranteed,
he stands.
right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. If I think the barrier to entry is like where can I fit in the marketplace where I can get rich for being athletic? I mean, I would start looking at baseball.
Well, the basketball contracts are pretty ridiculous.
They are, but there's only 15 positions. Like there's more opportunity in baseball for you to be like, yes, if you're great at basketball, I would go to basketball first.
Yeah.
But like if you're still great at something else, I would like look for a way to throw a fastball by someone.
But I think like you look at again. I think it's going to go. I think it's just going to be like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like look at the Williams sisters. Look at Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You want to be the greatest tennis player of all time? Like, be a super athletic black kid and pick up a tennis racket for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, like the Williams sisters, they're out there and they're like, what? Like, so this is what it was before we got here? It was like a bunch of like chicks having like a tea party.
Monica Seles.
Yeah, like grunting.
I mean, think about it. Think about Monica Seles. Remember how good she was?
She was.
Till that guy stabbed her.
For her to hit the ball half as hard as Serena Williams, she had to give so much effort. She was birthing a baby with every back. It was just like, ah! Like you hit the ball 40 miles an hour.
She used 2 hands on both sides.
I think she was just.
That's a little
I think the reason Monica Seles made all those noises, she was just practicing when she actually got stabbed. The noise that she was going to make.
That's the beauty of Donte DiVincenzo, that he started this whole thing.
Yeah.
And here we are ending with Monica Seles. It's a wonderful world of sports.
Well, you know what else is a wonderful world? Dirty sports. This is how we do it, Tug.
I know. I appreciate it. And it's my time. That's my TC half hour. I'm going to go sit on the other side.
TC 40.
No, but wait a second. I'm going to sit on the other side, but I just got to bring something up. There's no Trevor. Like, what's the deal? Let's be honest. Let's talk about that for a second because this is news. This is news in the world.
Well, for those of you who don't follow us on social media, we announced this last episode. Trevor, he got fired.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I saw that. But I thought that was like you guys were like pulling an April Fool's thing or something.
No, and people think we are, but no, he's not here. Obviously, he's not here tonight, and he got the axe. And then yesterday, I think I'm assuming he was under the influence of Brett Ernst. Like Ernst was probably egging him on. He went to Brett's podcast, and I didn't change the passwords yet. And he tweeted something out, and he Instagram storied, and I ended up taking it all down. And he's no longer with us.
And look, we talked about Trevor a lot last show, and I like Trevor. I'm a Trevor fan, but what went down yesterday with like the Instagram storying and I sort of feel like Trevor stabbed me in the back. And full disclosure, basically what happened, and I want to keep this brief because I think we should keep moving on with the show, and I agree. I don't want to do the whole intern drama.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But the basic gist of it was Trevor fucked up. Ruther hadn't been happy with Trevor's, effort for a little while. Ruther wanted to fire Trevor. I kind of said, let me handle it. I think I'll handle it better. Trevor and I have a better relationship. You're sort of the bad cop. I'm the good cop. And honestly, just like full disclosure, I basically said to Trevor, lay low for a little bit, let the dust settle. Like, let me handle Ruther. Let me smooth things out. And then you're back in the fold. And to really seem like we were on the same page, we came out and we said he was fired and whatever. And Ruther didn't know that. And Trevor and I had a conversation. Ruther and I had a different conversation. But then yesterday when Trevor's showing up like at other podcasts and like using our Twitter and our Instagram without our permission, like then I was like, well, fuck, like what? I thought we had a talk, and so fuck you. And so now I'm like, I guess that handshake deal is over, and I guess whenever Tug can be here for the TC minute and some production help,
I'm always happy to hit the ones and twos. Is that the language? You worked in radio. Well, Godspeed, Trevor. I had some great times with that dude.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
And I do want to say before we start moving on that I was caught off guard yesterday and was maybe a little angry and maybe took a shot across the bow of Brett Ernst. And I love Brett, and Brett did nothing but pick up a guy that maybe he thought could help his team.
Yeah.
So I love Brett. I meant nothing by any shade that I threw toward Brett. And if you want to follow them, you're on the list. And
we love Brett.
Trevor's
Brett's great, and we're not going to say, of course, anything bad about him. But good luck with Trevor. Have fun when he loses all your audio. Anyway, that's all I'll say. Let's bring things back to a good place. And you know what always puts me in a good place? Putting on some fresh Flag and Anthem gear.
I'm wearing Flag and Anthem shirt, jeans. No, my undershirt's not. But yeah, look at this. I'm full Flag and Anthemed out tonight.
I am rocking my Flag and Anthem jeans with my Zeke Walk shirt.
We gotta get Tug some Flag and Anthem stuff. He can pick up intern who shall not be name's extra gear now.
Yeah, that'll be something he's gonna miss, because I would hook him up with some Flag and Anthem gear. And Dirtballs, you too can look just as fresh as us by going to flagandanthem.com. It's that easy. If you go to flagandanthem.com and you drop our promo code DIRTY, you get 25% off your first order. And again, if you've already used the code, they reset it. That was the old code. This new code is DIRTY. You get 25% off your entire order. That's a good discount, Praino.
Yeah, my new favorite Flag and Anthem gear for you dirtballs who are out there who maybe don't have tons of money laying around for a new wardrobe of jeans and flannels and whatever. Just their T-shirts, like the simple pocket tee. Every time we get some Flag and Anthem stuff now, I get a couple pocket tees in there. It's just a great quality T-shirt. Like Tug's a T-shirt and jeans guy. When you have
Yeah.
a good T-shirt, really nothing beats it.
Yeah. So go to flagandanthem.com again and drop promo code DIRTY at checkout for 25% off. Now, guys, this deal isn't going to go on forever. So take advantage of it now before it ends. Dirty. Flagandanthem.com, promo code DIRTY. Look.
Yeah, one more minute, then I'm going to turn to the other side of the camera. I'm going to open up my Whole Foods bar.
What'd you get from Whole Foods?
You know, I ate.
It's very LA. It's very LA white person of you.
It is, no lie. But I was in San Antonio, and I ate so much barbecue and cured meats in 24 hours. I needed to eat something healthy.
I get it.
Myself, that I live in Santa Monica, so I went some kale,
Oh.
salmon.
Did you go to which Whole Foods did you go to?
The one by your house.
On Lincoln?
Yeah.
It's chaos over there, isn't
Not
it?
tonight for whatever reason. It was a little foggy out, so I think people just decided to stay in. It wasn't bad. I was surprised.
I fucking love that Whole Foods.
It's a good Whole Foods.
Because
the talent?
But yeah, the talent.
Yeah.
The talent. It's on Lincoln and Rose,
Yeah.
and I used to call it Lincoln and Hose. Like I would just go. I would get dressed up.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pickup spot. It's crazy.
And
There's a wine bar in there.
Yeah, there's a wine bar, and my move. I used
pretty
to live
extravagant.
with Lachlan over on 6th, and his was like walking distance there. Like if I didn't have shit to do, I would just put on nice pair of jeans, maybe a Flag and Anthem pocket tee, and I would go and I would get a basket, and I'd start on the left side where all like the hot food and whatever is, and I'd like pick up a couple kombuchas, some cheese, whatever.
That's the magnet. That's
Yeah.
that's
And then I'd
turn the
so-
heads.
And then I do a whole loop all the way around to the wine bar, put my basket down, have a drink, and then I'd walk it the other direction, putting everything I picked up back, and just leaving with like some Gouda dip and just like one item.
That's awesome.
You know what?
They're like, you've been here 6 hours and you've unloaded your fucking.
Yeah, we have a security footage of you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've actually only been at Whole Foods, even though we live right by it, maybe 4 or 5 times. But you just gave me an idea. Here's what I should do. I should act like I'm doing a petition for some bullshit liberal cause that all these Californians fucking love. And I should pick up numbers from girls by a fake petition.
That's criminal. That's
It is?
that's a criminal.
Don't kill that dream.
Yeah.
It is? Who needs Bumble and Tinder?
That's criminal.
Yeah.
I can't do that?
I think pretending to be like a charitable organization is a crime.
Yeah.
Why-
It's like that's like going to Whole Foods and be like, hey, can I put this thing here? It's collecting dollars for kids that have AIDS, and then just coming back and like getting that
No,
cup full of
I'm
money
not
and
getting
being like,
money. I'm just getting signatures.
know.
I love that Andy just had
no,
an
you're getting
idea.
phone numbers, you're getting information, which
Andy-
is worth more than money.
Andy has an
People pay
idea
for that.
that 1,000 psychopaths
Yeah,
have thought
yeah.
of before. Now we're all in jail.
Yeah, no, but I'll tell you what, like I went through a similar like at one point I was like,
What is wrong with me?
I would literally refer to it as Lincoln and Hose, and I was like, oh my god, I should start an Instagram called Lincoln and Hose. It's just like sneak shots of girls in like yoga pants, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm talking about sneaking pictures of girls. I was like, oh wait, no, I can't walk around Whole Foods sneaking pictures of girls' asses.
You can't? Why can't you do that? I actually legally think you can.
Yeah, it's just creepy as fuck.
Okay, you legally, because once you're in public, you legally can. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, till
That's
some
the one
guy
law
like
I need to
catches
check
you.
out.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go eat my food.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, as always.
Can you get a fake charitable organization going over there?
Yeah, I'll start working on one right now.
Just think of one. Something with the environment meets PETA meets something anti-Trump, and then
Well,
I'm in.
speaking of charitable organizations, the one thing I'll say is, I'm going to sit over there and have a beverage and eat my food, and we should do that with like some dirt balls, maybe like a sort of like a Make-A-Wish for dirt balls, where they come and eat their dinner.
You've said this before, I think.
I know, and I'm bringing it back around. I think people should sit. You should have like a rope where people come and sit behind it and watch the performance.
Well, Eddie Ift used to charge people that wanted to come. I think we should just do that. Like, we should just have a number that's like, you can come watch
Eddie
the show.
charged $1,000.
Yeah, well,
Did someone pay?
Yes.
multiple people
That's
paid.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
For fans to sit in on his podcast.
I think we should have a more reasonable number for you just come, cash in hand, you pay it, you can sit at the counter here, drink some beers, chime in. We'll put a mic nearby. You won't be like guest on the show.
No,
No,
I
no.
don't know about the mic thing.
Yeah.
They're just watching. Do you think we could get people to actually do that?
I don't know. Let's find out. Slide into Ruther's DMs if you have a price to pay.
Yeah, let me know.
Guys, keep the keep the show strong. I feel like we got a good one going.
All right, Tug. We
Also,
appreciate
Tug,
it.
you owe us $20 for your appearance.
Yeah. Thank you, Tug, for the 50-minute TC minute.
I know. Hey, I'm looking at the rundown. You guys demand 2-hour plus podcasts. I'm looking at the rundown. I'm pretty excited.
Tug doesn't want to leave.
No, I'm out.
Tug doesn't want to leave. You sure about that, buddy?
See, I'm going to tell you, we're just going to take that mic. We'll put it over here just in case Tug wants to chime in.
All right. Well, let me now I'm going to adjust the sound here. Tug was you think you were 1.
I'm on the 1s and 3s.
All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, okay. NFL, Praino, we got some good stuff to talk
Do
about.
we? What do we got going on in the NFL?
Well, first of all, the Rams just will not stop making moves.
Yeah.
Right? They traded for Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
What do we think about this move?
Well, they're going for it. He's certainly better, I think, than most of their receivers.
Yeah.
Watkins left. Watkins went to Kansas City, right? Is that where Watkins ended up? Kansas City?
Correct.
So they had to replace him.
We're going to need that phone turned off in the peanut gallery, Tug. Thank you.
Go to silent mode over there. We need you on vibrate.
Your mic's already been turned off.
There was a lot of talk about them going for Odell.
Yeah.
But I think the anybody that understands how salary caps work is like, we're not paying Goff and Donald and Odell in the next few years. So they needed a wide receiver, and I think that was a nice move for them. And, of course, like, in the end, Belichick is definitely taking, like, their 23rd pick overall and drafting the next Tom Brady, right? Like,
do we think that for sure? I mean, I was reading into that.
No, I just what I meant was like, oh, not that he got it so he could take a quarterback, which I would be surprised if they didn't take a quarterback at some point in this draft. But my point is that he's going to use the 23rd overall pick that would normally be like not that valuable for somebody else and draft the next like great player that no one has ended. Like, oh, that was the year Allen went 1 and Darnold went 2 and Rosen went 4 and Lamar Jackson went 12 and Bill Belichick took the backup from Tennessee at 23 who had never started a game in college who now has 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to do something with that's going to make everybody furious.
Well, if I'm Jared Goff, to bring it back to the Rams, I mean, as a young quarterback, he's got some pieces, especially having, obviously, Gurley to offset the passing game. I mean, Cooks, people are forgetting, Cooks is like 24, 25.
Yeah. Look, they're going for it. And they're smart as shit to go for it because they had a great team last year. They have a young coach. They're still, is it 3 years away or is it 2? Like, when is this fucking stadium being built?
They have 2 more full seasons in the Coliseum.
Yeah. So Joe Schiavelli, our former intern, was like the embodiment of an LA fan who was like, well, maybe when they're good, people will care. And they're like, yeah, we know how you guys are in LA. We're going to be good so that when we go to the new stadium, everybody has a fucking boner for season tickets. Because I almost think, like, sure, would a Super Bowl be great? Is McVay trying to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes, probably all that stuff. But I think they're mostly trying to be competitive for the new place.
I agree.
Than they are trying to be, because they can't pay everybody.
I agree. And we talked about this yesterday when we were playing basketball, and that's exactly what I was saying to you, too. I think that Kroenke's smart enough to know that. And for the last 2 years, especially last year, every time the Rams played, they were the butt of all the jokes, right?
Yeah.
On social media. Because they had a good team, they had a fun team, an explosive team, and the cameras would then pan to the Coliseum, and it'd be a goddamn ghost town. Or it'd be, majority Eagles fans or Saints fans or whoever they're playing. So I think that hit home. So I think you're right. I think, sure, they want to win a Super Bowl, but they also want to say, hey, L.A., we're here, we're good. Start coming out to the games.
Yeah, and mostly start buying, I don't know if they're doing PSLs but they want to sell. that's where teams make their money.
Yeah.
They want to sell luxury suites. They want to sell VIP packages. They want the Hollywood big names, the agencies, the fucking production companies, the studios to buy into the Rams as LA's team and be like, we're fucking on board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they want the next Avengers to fucking have a scene in the new stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, last year we went to the Saints game with Shabelli's family. Do you remember this? Do you remember the celebrities that they showed? Do you remember?
No, I remember very little of that game, honestly. But
okay, so you go to a Lakers game.
Shout out to the Shabelli's free tailgate party.
Yeah, I would say you were getting roasted. So is it roasted or toasted?
Certainly more than toasted. I didn't see Don Rickles there. You're getting roasted.
You're getting roasted. Shabelli's mom was getting you left and right with zingers. No, but this is this. By the way, she is pretty funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
For the record, you go to a Lakers game. Let's do a comparison. You go to a Lakers game. You see Jack Nicholson. You see Justin Timberlake. You see all the fucking stars. This is who they should.
I like that was the two you picked. You see Jack Nicholson. You see Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake, worldwide known Lakers fan.
This is who they showed when we went to that game last year. They showed Drama from Entourage and Gary Busey.
Yeah.
That's who they showed during the game. Like, those were the stars of a first-place team.
Right.
So they're trying to change it. I actually, last night, went to the Rams website to look at season tickets.
And?
It's $100, to just get your place.
Yeah. It's $100 what? It's $100 just to what? Get your place in line?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's $100 to get your place in line. And then I realized, why would I get...
So you can't just, buy season tickets right now?
No, you couldn't.
What, because there's what? A wait list or because they're not available yet?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay.
Then I realized...
Because I was under the impression that with, 24 players kneeling last season that, tickets are just, available. They're like, you want to sell them to 50? No one's coming to these games. Ratings are down. No one's watching.
You won't let it die, will you?
No, I will never let anything die.
No, you won't.
That's my go-to move.
Well, Joe, the reason I did not put down that $100 basically down payment was I realized, why would I do that when I can just go on SeatGeek to get tickets?
Go to a different section every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably for cheaper than it would cost you to buy season tickets.
Yeah.
You know why? Because somebody like you is going to buy season tickets, and then they're going to be like, meh. It's a nice day. I'm going to go to the beach. I don't want to see Rams, Cardinals. The Cardinals stink.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, I'd love to see Rams, Cardinals at a discounted price. I'm going to go to SeatGeek.
Exactly. And the Rams website, you can't see exactly the view of your seats. When I go on SeatGeek for any event, any concert, any sports event, you name it, you can see exactly the view, which is one of our favorite things that we love about SeatGeek. So, DirtBalls, you too can take advantage of the great offer that we have with our friends at SeatGeek, because all of you guys get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. We love when people send us tweets, Instagram pics, any social media of themselves at a game from SeatGeek. And you know what? I'll do something here real quick.
Okay.
Anybody who sends us a picture in the next 10 days from this airing using SeatGeek, I'll send you a koozie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
So take advantage of that. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter our promo code DIRTY today. That's DIRTY. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. All right, Praino, I know you're going to have a lot to say about this RG3 signing by the Ravens.
I don't have a ton to say, honestly. I don't mind it. I like it. RG3, I was an RG3 fan. He certainly was a talented quarterback. He's had injuries. He's certainly not coming in to be the guy that he was in Washington, running around. The explosiveness that he had when he first came into the league. Like a lot of quarterbacks, I think we probably didn't get to see his full level of talent right now because he was on the Browns that one year. He is the last quarterback to win a game for the Browns, by the way.
I was going to say, that's a great stat.
As a backup.
Do you know when that was, by the way? That was
first game of last year?
No, that was January of 2017. So it was RG3 was not on a team last year.
Right.
It was the season before last.
Right. Yeah. Because they won their game late.
Yeah. It was like, I believe, a week 15 or 16 game.
So I think it's fine signing
Yeah.
him as a backup. Like,
Sure.
take a shot. I mean, the one, and again, I don't have a problem with when teams like that, like, take a chance on a guy because you don't know what you're going to get from RG3. I have a problem when teams sign a guy like Brandon Whedon because you know what you're going to get, and it's not good.
Yeah.
And, the Kaepernick thing, I mean, even RG3 is a great example of, basically any time a guy gets signed to be a backup, it's like everybody goes like, I'll do the thing where I'll call out Brandon Whedon and be like, yeah, maybe it's the kneeling, but maybe it's also that he's washed. It's like, I think we can all agree here that Colin Kaepernick isn't more quote unquote washed than RG3 looked. So,
well, again, of course, they both didn't play last year.
Right. So my point is that, like, anytime a guy like this, like, for me, it's always an opportunity to throw a subtle jab at the NFL for Colin Kaepernick still being out of the league.
He'll never play again, right?
I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah. And
just like Johnny Manziel.
And that disgusts me. And Johnny Manziel will play again. Somebody will give him a shot.
I don't think so.
It will, and the tweet I write will get 1 million retweets. Because that one will be the one that's like, really? The crackhead? Like, really? The guy who literally said today, like, I'm not a big X's and O's guy. It's like, that's football. Like, he's like, I'm not a big protect the football kind of guy. You know me, wacky Manziel.
You think? See, I'm pretty convinced at this point that neither of them will ever play again.
I'm 95% certain that Colin Kaepernick will never play again because I don't think anybody has the balls to do it now that it's gone this long.
Sure.
I would love it if somebody did. I would like the owner who told his team, like, we are going to be the ones, like, the owners and the GMs and the league right now when it comes to Colin Kaepernick are on the wrong side of history. You're going to go down as being the people who be like, yeah, they're supposed to have different water fountains. That's just life. And you're on the wrong side of history. But I'd like to think that, shit changes in the NFL and everything from year to year, that somebody who's not a bigot maybe buys an NFL team, like, be crazy, but maybe a not Texas oil billionaire gets a hold, maybe a Mark Cuban type gets a hold of a football team and is like, yeah, why would we not sign him? I'm going to sign Brandon Whedon. I watched Brandon Whedon play. He has 5 wins in his entire NFL career and is dog shit at playing quarterback, and for that reason, I'm out.
But why do you think
fucking Shark Tank some Kaepernick?
Why do you think Johnny Manziel? Because Manziel sat out last year.
Yeah,
I'm surprised RG3 because my thing is once you sit out a year, it's really hard to get back in.
But you know why it's not really hard? Because it's a hard position to play, and there are guys who are not qualified to do it mentally.
Yeah,
there are guys who are you're just not, like, it is tough to find 60 quarterbacks, that are of the right age and of the right physical makeup and have experience playing quarterback. Every team needs a quarterback and every team needs a backup. And the idea that an NFL team like the Texans, for example, are going, well, if Deshaun Watson stays healthy, we can contend, and if he doesn't, fuck our fans. Well, you're an asshole. And so the Ravens go, if Joe Flacco's healthy, great, and if he's not, let's take a shot. Who knows? Maybe we catch lightning in a bottle. Maybe he's Mike Vick after the dog sentence. Maybe he's, Kurt Warner after the fucking groceries. Maybe he's whoever. Like, let's take a shot. The idea that you're going to pick up a guy who is going to suck just to, like, people keep saying, like, Brandon Whedon's going to teach him the system. I don't want Brandon Whedon teaching my quarterback anything. Get out of here. What are you teaching him? How to suck? Like, What the fuck are we talking about?
I've never heard so much random Brandon Whedon shade in my life.
Look, guys, he's 35 years old.
He's not. I know, but he's not in the league, is he?
Yes, he backs up Deshaun Watson in Texas now. Yeah.
Wait, oh yeah. I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot that
He
that
was
happened.
signed to back up Deshaun Watson. Last year,
I forgot.
they had fucking Savage.
Tom Savage.
And Watson, first of all, they started Savage because Bill O'Brien's a dope. And then Deshaun Watson came in, turned the fucking thing, and then Savage came in, season's over. They were like, Texans fan, it's cool, don't come. Savage is back in, we suck. Now you have Deshaun Watson, you're like, if he goes out, just fucking don't come.
Wow. I mean, that's just, look, you just can't argue that. You just can't. You can't argue Brandon Whedon having a roster spot on any team in the National Football League. You just can't argue it. You just cannot argue it. This is where people.
RG3, it's like, who knows?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I don't have a problem. Like, people should pick up Colin Kaepernick for the same reason they picked up RG3, except for the fact that he wasn't hurt, obviously. And so, the major part of his game, which is freak athleticism, isn't completely hampered by multiple knee injuries. But I don't mind them going like, hey, we know RG3 can do it at this level. He did it at this level. Let's bring him in and hope for the best.
I just don't understand.
I don't really have a lot to say about it, though.
I just don't understand how we still live in a world where people can't separate things. And by that I mean, I don't agree with certain people in Hollywood's politics a lot of times. But I can still enjoy their movie or their TV show or someone's music. I just don't get this. Why we have to not.
Chinatown's one of my favorite movies of all time. That dude raped multiple children. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not fucking buying tickets to his fan club or anything, but
sure,
it is what it is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how everyone gets so bent out of shape. And they can't separate these. It's a simple-minded human being. It really is. It's a simple-minded human that you can't say, oh, maybe I don't agree with you on these things, but God, you can throw a football good. Yeah. Or you're a great singer. Who gives a shit? Just appreciate the good things that they do.
And look, this isn't Dirty Politics, which apparently is now hosted by Trevor and Brett. And look, I'm not trying to fucking, attack half of our audience or anything. But the thing is like, there's a lot of athletes have a lot of opinions. A lot of athletes have a lot of lifestyles, made a lot of decisions that I don't approve of whatsoever.
Yeah.
The reason that people are like, it's a perfect storm situation. Colin Kaepernick's opinion that people don't like is directly in opposition with a simple-minded group of people. Like the people that specifically would offend are dumb people.
Yeah.
There are people that are like, flag equals military, military equals USA. And you're like, what is this? Is this like a fucking, what am I, like, is this like a goddamn fireworks show at like a fucking VFW? Like kneeling doesn't have anything to do with like him wanting soldiers dead. Like, and when you bridge those 2 points together, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he wore pigs on his socks. So what? I call cops pigs all the fucking time. That's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
But you know what? I agree with you, but I also, in a way, think it's not just the simple-minded people on different issues. Not to get down this whole fucking rabbit hole, but my point is,
look at the NFL. Look, just like watch an NFL game.
Yeah.
And watch what happens during commercial of an NFL game. They're not doing commercials for it's trucks, beer,
Cialis,
dick pills.
Yeah.
Trucks, beer, dick pills. That's it.
Yeah.
They are going
Sonic.
for fucking exactly. They're going for fucking rednecks who eat fatty foods, who drink Bud Heavy, whose dicks don't work because they eat fatty foods and drink Bud Heavy.
Yeah.
Like, this is, yes, it's a simple-minded fucking person's ads, and those are the people that are offended. So it is. It's dumb people. That's it. And, I mean, Donald Trump's our president. We have a lot of them. Like, this is,
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton was his opposition, so we got a fucking extra amount of dumb ones.
But that's what I'm saying.
People.
Like, to me, it goes just on both sides, though.
This is why we need Tug still on the couch. I mean, what is he doing over there? Is he eating a burrito? Like, I need Tug's opinions on this.
Tug's just staring. Tug's just off in the distance.
Turn me up.
You want the mic on?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Don't ever say
Am
that.
I back on?
You're on.
I just want to be the Trevor role. It's open now, right? Can I
you're on.
audition for that?
You're on air. Oh, the Trevor role?
Yeah. I don't need to be on camera. I
mean,
just want to chime in.
Look, here's the way I look at it, dude. You are a creator, star of your own show. You're gonna be our intern, not even intern. You're just gonna be the Baba Booey.
It's just a hobby. It's just a fun. It's like crocheting or whatever. Just to come in, hang out, chime in every now and again. Fun stat for you guys. Bring it back to sports. Brandon, this is from Nick Mincio on Twitter. Brandon Cooks is 9 months older than 2018 prospect Calvin Ridley. 2 months older than Mike Williams, 6 months younger than Michael Thomas, and 10 months younger than Josh Doxson.
Wow.
They're going for it.
Yeah. I like that. That's a I wanted, like, Tug's thoughts on, like, fucking Kaepernick thing. He's like, no, Brandon Cooks, really young.
The Kaepernick thing, I mean, you said it all. I thought that should be like a slow clap, personally, for that rant, because the RG3 thing tells us that Kaepernick's never coming back. I mean,
Exactly.
So it's just like, it's almost like now you're trolling Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But I think the Ravens are
They're like, we want a guy like you, but more injured and doesn't have an opinion.
And the Ravens are one of the more
like we want a guy from
progressive
Texas like you.
The Ravens are one of the more progressive franchises with Bisciotti and
Yeah, they
Harbaugh
put a
and
statue of a guy who stabbed people outside their stadium.
Yeah.
That's pretty progressive.
Yeah, so I
Pretty
think
progressive.
if they're gonna go, if they're gonna get RG3, I think that it does close the door on Kaepernick.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the Ravens doing it. It always brings up like the people, the straws that people like to grasp at, where they were like, well, maybe the Ravens did look at Kaepernick, and then his girlfriend called their owner a slave owner. It's like, okay, fucking Miko Grimes has told every owner in the league to suck her dick, and she's a woman. Like, what are we like? So now we're like worried about what dudes' girlfriends are saying. Like, what was Aaron Hernandez? Aaron Hernandez's girlfriend was saying, "Help, he's a murderer." Like, when did we start listening to fucking players' girlfriends? OJ's girlfriend was like, "He's killing me." Like, suddenly we care about NFL football players' girlfriends' opinions. That's gonna stop them from getting signed or not signed.
It is crazy to think, and I think you hit the nail on the head, and that about who's buying the NFL, because for the existence of the NFL, it was, if you can play, we're gonna play you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you've done, we'll find a way to put you in
I mean,
a role.
to me, that's what makes me so angry about it, is that's what sports is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, when we're all trying to be in the entertainment business, and we're sitting here doing a show in a fucking filthy studio apartment.
I vacuumed today. Give me some credit here, bro.
And Mike Nichols and fucking Diane Sawyer's daughter is doing it on ESPN. You don't get to the NFL because you're fucking, Bo Jackson and Jackie Joyner Kersey's kid. Now, it would probably make you a fantastic athlete, but they don't just give you a role. In sports, if you can fucking do it, you play. You score, you start. You fucking achieve, you win. So the idea that a guy is going to be kept out of the league, not for committing a crime, not for breaking a league rule, not for breaking a team rule, for having an opinion in America, pulls down the entire tent pole of sports as we know it. If you can do it, you play. That's it. That's the beauty of it. That's why kids fucking compete.
Well, that's always been my thing, right? I don't care what you do off the field, just perform. I don't care if Gronk is showing up drunk or Lawrence Taylor's showing up fucking cracked out of his mind on cocaine. If you can go in there and perform, cool. I don't give a shit what your opinions are. I don't care what, who you have sex with off the field. Just perform, because that's what you're paid to do. And you talk about, in the entertainment business, it's the same way. You know what? Dude, whatever. Just be funny or just be a good singer. We're judging these people. We need to judge them on their job, because that's what you're judging someone at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
You're judging someone on their job, their performance.
I mean, you cited R. Kelly the other day. Didn't you in a tweet about, like, people still go nuts for Remix to Ignition?
Well,
people still go crazy for that
it
song.
blows my mind, because there was a new BBC thing on basically R. Kelly was training sex slaves. I mean, it's fucked up. It's demented. It's not a surprise, though. But these same people, yes, they go on social media.
Michael Jackson built a children's theme park.
Yes.
I mean, he built a children's
He didn't
theme
even
park
hide it.
in his yard.
Didn't even hide it.
And it was like, you must be under this tall to ride this ride. Like, he was like, if you're 12, get the fuck out. Like, I ain't interested in 12 and above.
Yeah.
This is just the kids who are riding Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Like, that's all I want here.
And I know this episode's gotten kind of preachy, but it's important to me, and I think it's important to people who listen. Just open your fucking eyes and your ears and look at these things. You can't sit there and fucking go off on some person, and especially like an R. Kelly guy, and then go dance to Remix to Ignition. I know I'm a hypocrite. He did awful things. I've seen the video of him peeing on a young girl. It's fucked up.
Know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics of how old she was, but him peeing on her is not necessarily a terrible thing. If she was willing.
As the TC Minute, I just want to send in a correction, just a quick correction as the stat boy of now the new Trevor. Rachel Nichols was actually she married into that family. She's not the actual daughter. So that's just a little nugget.
She married into who?
To Mike Nichols' family.
Okay.
And she was super nice and supportive. Now we're talking. So there's that.
Oh, she is? That's amazing. That's why you can't shit on her. I literally, what I pulled out?
So she's Mike Nichols' son's.
She's an in-law.
Yeah.
There you go.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, you know what? See, again, Tug, we can agree to disagree. This is what's so great about this country.
Angelina Jolie is John Voight's daughter, though, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
All right, fellas. Well, Tug's just going to hang out on the counter,
Yeah.
and we're going to move on to some baseball stuff.
Great. What do you got?
Well, first thing I want to give my boy, and I hate doing this, I got to give my boy Praino a little credit.
What did I call?
Well, I mean, Judge and Stanton.
Well,
you get a K. You get a K. Everybody gets a K.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Look, am I willing to toot my own horn when I make a great prediction? Of course I am. But predicting that Judge and Stanton, who both struck out 200 times last year, are going to strike out a bunch this year. Not exactly I didn't need a crystal ball for that one. But I will say that the thing that's happening so far is exactly what I said would happen. Of course, they're going to strike out a lot. But my true prediction is they're going to strike out a lot. They're going to be fantastic. I predicted they're going to win the AL East. But my problem with that signing is come playoff time.
You need pitching.
Well, come playoff time, the pitching gets better. Suddenly,
Sure.
You're not facing the fourth starter or the fifth starter on any team. Pitchers are bringing their best stuff.
They should also bring their breast stuff.
Yeah, they're bringing their best stuff. Managers are using their bullpen, more strategically. Having two guys like that in the middle of your lineup when the pitching gets better,
Yeah.
that's when those strikeouts are going to kick them in the ass. And so that's my prediction. My prediction is, yes, they're both going to strike out 200 times this year. That's just what they're going to do. But come playoff time, it's going to be like, fuck. We have two potential rally killers in the middle of the lineup when guys like Verlander or Kershaw or Syndergaard or whoever, you're facing guys like that every day.
I wonder if Stanton, and I know it's so early. I know it's very early. But I wonder if there's any part of him that's thinking, oh, man, New York.
I mean, first of all, he hit 2 home runs in his first game and then got booed.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Yankee fans are,
That's what I was about to say. He hits 2 home runs his first game. He strikes out 5 times yesterday on Tuesday night. And the Yankees fans are already booing him if he's thinking, Jesus Christ. Like,
I mean, look, they're not the worst fans in the world. They didn't throw batteries on him or take his hat off and take a shit in it. You know, they're not Philly fans.
yeah.
But that's just that's like they are still fucking trash because that's like their thing. They're like, we're gonna boo you if you're not good. It's like he's already been good this year.
Yeah.
He hit a homer today.
So he has 3 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But I think that is a recipe for postseason disaster.
Well, Joe, Jon Kruk revealed something actually during your game today, the Mets-Phillies.
Which can we talk about that? Do you know the deal with today's Mets-Phillies game?
Go for it.
It was a Facebook exclusive event.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just saying that I think gave me AIDS. I cannot believe that that's a thing. We are in the midst of Facebook admitting that they let people have all of our personal information. So much fucking nonsense. And the only place I could watch the Mets-Phillies game today was on Facebook.
Why was that?
I'm sure the fucking Facebook paid them $1 billion for the year to air Wednesday fucking day games exclusively on Facebook. And you know what's crazy about that was on the top corner it says it's a live video and it shows how many people are there. Like it topped out at like 78,000 people. Like that's got to be a low number for a baseball game, right? Even like a shitty Wednesday, April baseball game.
I would think they couldn't even get 100,000 people to watch it.
No, at no point was it over at no point was it 200,000. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it's not good, especially with a big market team. They're both big market teams.
Yeah, and it was Kruk and Cliff Floyd were the broadcaster.
Cliff Floyd, huh?
Yeah.
How was he?
They were both good. What I liked is they seemed to be paired together because Kruk was a Philly and Cliff Floyd was a Met.
Sure.
So they didn't have like whatever. The one thing I really did like about it is they were both hitters. You know, they're both field players. They were bonering out for Syndergaard. They were just like, both of them were honestly like, thank God I don't play anymore. Like, this is like, what am I watching?
Is Floyd known for being more of a Met or an Expo?
I think he's known for being more of a Met. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I saw the clip where basically in a low-key way, Jon Kruk admitted during rainouts, during his playing days, that he would watch porn, which I found very interesting.
Yeah. Well, he said he wasn't watching video of the other pitcher, that's for sure. And he was sort of insinuating that he was watching porn.
Which, by the way, means he never could have played for the Royals.
Right.
Because they have a no-porn fucking tolerance policy going on over there in Kansas City.
And couldn't have played for the Expos or the Blue Jays because I heard they don't even allow porn in Canada.
Really?
I heard there's no porn in Canada.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
They have a firewall. Stops all the porn.
It's just moose porn.
Yeah. It's just like girls drinking syrup.
I bet somebody has that fetish, though. I bet there's somebody out there right now as we record this who's masturbating to girls drinking syrup.
Oh, I'm certain of it.
People are weird, man.
Yeah, Canadians.
I watched that Dirty Money documentary, and, each episode is some different
I heard
scandal.
Rogan. I was listening to Rogan, and he's like, check out this.
No. See? No.
What's this Dirty Money documentary?
It's a good documentary. So it's
where is it? Netflix?
It's Netflix. So each episode is a different company, a different country.
Right.
And it's just all the corruption.
Behind the maple syrup?
But that's one of them.
Really?
But this is what I find so interesting is that I like this documentary because I think they're trying to say, hey, everybody says America is so corrupt. Well, no, Volkswagen had an awful thing going on in Germany. They go through the maple syrup thing in Canada. Like, they hit on all the countries. But the maple syrup thing, was crazy. Somebody stole like $100 million worth of maple syrup because they said basically the people who are running the maple syrup in Quebec are basically like mobsters, how they handle it. So it had to be stolen. The whole thing, I'm like, am I watching this? But it's fascinating. All over maple syrup.
It was just like a couple of firemen from a firehouse that were having an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast. I got the plan. Every year we lose money on this. Real maple syrup.
Well, Joe, what's his name? Shohei? Is it Shohei? Shohei?
I don't know.
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, it's probably Tug, do we got nothing? He's got nothing.
Nothing on that?
It's probably Shohei Ohtani, right?
I think it's Shohei or Shohei.
Either way.
Anyway,
I think everybody knows who we're talking about.
he's Japanese.
He's the two-way player on
Yeah.
the Angels.
I think you should put on those headphones, Praino,
Oh, okay.
because he hit his first home run, and I want to bring something back.
Well, he hit his second home run. He hit one yesterday, and then he hit one today.
This is from yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he hit one today off of Kluber.
Yeah. So this is yesterday, and one of my favorite things to do in Dirty Sports is listen to Japanese announcers
Right.
losing their goddamn mind. So this is last night here in Anaheim.
So you watched this and you listened to this already, and you still don't know how to pronounce his name? Did they not do his first name in this?
Wait until you hear this. This is why I love Japanese announcers.
ライトへ高々と上がったセンターが追うその上入りましたなんと大谷メジャー初ホームラン本拠地エンゼルスタジアムで初ホームランスリーランホームラン
Home run, I get that.
Yeah. Home run.
すごい素晴らしいとしか言いようがないですね。ベンチで誰も祝福してくれないこの
They're always laughing.
They're always
みん
laughing.
なおいっていうこの
They always
あーやっと来てくれた
Japanese announcers always remind me of the scene in Karate Kid where Daniel-san comes home and he's drunk.
回ってるだけでも
It's like banzai.
Wait, you mean when Mr. Miyagi comes home?
Yeah, and he's drunk.
That's actually a great analogy.
You know,
Yeah.
they're always kind of laughing and having like a little too much fun. Ohtani,
But they
banzai. Shohei.
Shohei.
Now I never know. It's like like Ichiro. It's Ichiro Suzuki, but he's got Ichiro on the back of his shirt. It's all reverse. So I don't know what his first or last name is, but Shohei Ohtani.
What I do know is I could listen to Japanese announcers all day long.
Yeah.
In fact, they should have an app. Why don't they have this? Why don't they have an app where you can watch any sporting event in Japanese?
I believe they do, and we worked for them for a little bit, and now I think they're doing like bar crawls or something like that.
Oh, Rabble?
Yeah. Yeah, because you find Japanese people doing it,
Ah, yeah, that's right.
We should just do it as Japanese people.
Hey!
Yeah.
That would be my move.
Yeah.
That's all I would do. The whole, hey! That's a big Karate Kid. He's always, hey!
I'd do like a, hey! Show! Hey! Show! Like it'd be a Lumineers reference for the Japanese baseball player.
But do you notice, like, when they're doing it, it's like, home run.
Well, wait, that's. Well, I feel like whenever you do a bit like this, Tug, you're always like, they're gonna find this when I win the national championship game, and I'm gonna be like, I was 14.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was actually perfect
Yeah,
Japanese. Maybe we could bring Yoshi in on this.
Yeah, we should. We should have Yoshi in just translate. I feel like if Yoshi were here to translate that clip, they'd be like, home run, Ohtani. And you're like, what? Why was it? Why did they yell for 30 straight seconds?
Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it is there's lots of yelling and lots of laughter.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, that was he hit another home run today against Kluber. Like, he's a legit two-way major leaguer. I said I think Shohei Ohtani is Japanese for Steve Nebraska,
I saw that.
which is the Brendan Fraser character in The Scout.
I saw that tweet, and I knew that had to have been you.
Yeah.
Considering now.
I wanted to say it was Japanese for Steve Nebraska, but that would have been too. I saved those jokes for when Yoshi's here.
I got you.
Steve Nebraska.
So basically, Ohtani is he goes both ways. He's bisexual.
Yeah, he's he's
What-
cisgendered.
What is the technical term in 2018?
Yeah.
Cisgendered?
I don't know. He's
binary.
He's position fluid. That's what he is.
I think we have the title.
He's position fluid.
Shohei. Is it Shohei?
Shohei.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Is position fluid.
He's position fluid.
Tug, can you write that down by any chance? See, I mean, this is there's a pen over there.
Yeah.
By the desk.
He can use
Thanks, bud.
pitchers' bathrooms. He can use position players' bathrooms. He can use any bathroom he wants.
Yeah.
He can be in the bullpen. He can be in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know?
Shohei Ohtani is position fluid.
Except if they ever play in North Carolina, and then he strictly has to be a pitcher.
That's good stuff, Praino. That is good stuff. You know what else is good stuff? Winning money from DirtBalls in the draft app.
I agree. I just did it the other day. I'll tell you what. Next draft I'm in, I'm going to take Ohtani.
I'm going to take Ohtani too.
That's it. He's going to be the Odell Beckham of the Dirty Sports draft. Every day for the rest of the draft app year, we should have to take Ohtani in every draft where he's playing.
I love it.
I'm in.
Guys, you can challenge us in the draft app.
Whoa. I just thought of something. How does that work if he's pitching and hitting simultaneously? I don't think he hits when he pitches, though.
Well, in the American League, but what happens when they do interleague games?
Oh,
and he's
boy.
playing National League.
Exciting.
You can double the points on draft.
Yeah.
So DirtBalls, challenge us. You can challenge us head-to-head. Joe and I love those snake drafts. That means you can challenge us head-to-head, basically, every day that there's baseball, which is basically the next 6 months. The draft start as low as just $1.
That's low.
Really low. And for a limited time, only all the DirtBalls, that's you guys, get a free entry into Real Money Baseball when you make your first deposit. But you have to use our promo code, which is DIRTY. So play for real money for free just by using promo code DIRTY when you make your first deposit. So search Draft in your app store or go to draft.com and enter promo code DIRTY. And guys, we really want you to be using this because it's a fun way to get involved with the baseball season. A lot of you guys say, oh, baseball bores me. Well, you know what's not going to bore you? When you have a challenge going on that night with us head-to-head with money on the line. So drop that promo code DIRTY on the draft app today. Do we want to get some calls?
Yeah. Do we have any other stuff to go over? I feel like you had more on the old rundown. How long have we been here?
We've been here about an hour and a half.
Okay. We could do some calls.
You want to do some calls?
Sure. If we covered everything.
I think we've got everything for the most part.
I had something I wanted to talk about, but it's slipping my mind now. So we can go to calls.
All right.
On the old headphones.
Yeah, I know. It's.
We need. You know what we need? We need some sort of like speaker system so that when you play calls, it just plays into the room.
How's that going to work?
I don't know. I wish we had a tech savvy intern.
All right, let's get to these calls.
I'm looking at Tug. He's like, I have no idea, but if you need pronunciation help,
He's there.
let me know.
Yo, what up, boys? Jose Bottles, Joey Bottles, down in San Diego. Just wanted to make sure you got my message. Sending you guys pizzas for the 420 episode. Sending nothing but love. Hope you guys smoke a shitload of weed, have a shitload of fun, and make Ricky Williams laugh. At my work right now, loving the podcast. Thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the pizza. Send Ruther the money ASAP. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I had to give him some love. Joey Bottles sent us $50.
Yeah.
Specifically for pizza for the 420 episode.
Which Ricky Williams will hopefully be here for, and he'll be like, oh, I don't need pizza. He's like, I only kale exclusively. But thank you, Jose Bottles. Joey Bottles. He always comes to shows whenever I'm in San Diego. I was down there with Eddie recently, and he came to the Madhouse Comedy Club, and he came up to me, and he's like, I got it. And I was like, what'd you get? And he's like, the worst STD you can get. He was quoting me from the show. He's like, I impregnated my wife. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. He was like, so let's have a shot. I was like, love it.
But his name in Spanish, it's Joey Bottles.
He's Jose Botello.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Joey Bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing name. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who is part of our Patreon.
Yes.
Now that we're talking about DirtBall donations. Thanks to you guys who've donated for the Patreon. We still have that going if you do want to contribute to the show.
Yeah.
It's
obviously, it didn't turn into a third episode a week, which, thank God, honestly.
But with that Patreon money, in the past 2 months, we've pumped out 45 YouTube videos. We've gotten to do some fun trips for the show, which is content. And we have some more things in the way. So if you want to contribute, again, if you go to patreon.com/dirty sports, you can sign up $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever you want. And thank you to everyone.
And you can specify what kind of things you want your money to go to when you're in there, right?
Yeah.
Like Joey Bottles was like, "This is for pizza."
Yeah.
If you want a monthly beer fund, pizza fund, whatever on there, go to the Patreon. And thank you to everybody who is already a patron. A patron.
So we have some calls about the whole former intern thing.
I mean, I feel like we covered it. How many of them were we going to do? Like, maybe we can take one or, like, I'm going to say if you have, do you know what they're going to say? Like, if you have one pro and one against, we can do that.
Well, this is a good one because this involves a question.
Okay. I don't want to do too much of this.
I agree, but you'll like this call.
Okay.
Hey boys, it's Adam, your Canadian dirtball up in Edmonton, Alberta. In light of Trevor getting way too high and losing 2 hours of goal footage, I want to know what your guys' best getting fired or getting someone fired story was. Stay dirty, boys.
See? I like that call.
Yeah.
So he wants to know our best story of getting fired. I got a couple good ones.
I think I've referenced this or talked about it on the show, but I'll do it straight up, like from start to finish here, because it's easily my best fired story. I haven't gotten fired from a lot of jobs, but I was fired. My brother Mikey and I, we were movers. We specifically moved antique furniture that was going to be refinished. So like we would go get like a really expensive piece of furniture, and we'd bring it on a truck, and then this guy would like redo your $10,000 armoire or whatever. So one night, me and my brother went out and got hammered, and the next day we were so hungover that we were basically still drunk. And the whole morning was shot. Like everything we moved, we were like banging into walls. And then we brought a piece back to where it gets done. And we were backing. It was like a huge piece, like a piano or something. And it was on the back of a truck. And I'm driving. And we start pulling into the garage that was under like the refinishing studio. And I was like, Mikey, I have to take a shit. Like, I have to take a terrible shit. I was like, wait here, and I was like, give me like 3 minutes. Like, it's on the way out. And the bathroom that was in the garage was just like a little concrete, like, corner room. And I went in there, and I remember the lights wouldn't turn on, so I was diarrheaing entirely in the dark. And then
It's a great feeling.
I heard what sounded like an explosion, and the whole fucking building rocked. And it turned out that Mikey started backing the truck up and thought I was out of the bathroom and was like, "Am I good? Am I good? Am I good?" and slammed into the concrete wall that included the bathroom that I was shitting in. And it rocked the whole building. I mean, he backed like a fucking huge moving truck into a wall, like dead on, like hard. So now I'm like panicking, and I try to get out of the bathroom, and I'm locked in the bathroom because the truck has been backed up and it's blocking the door.
Yeah.
The guy who we worked for comes fucking running down the stairs like, what the fuck? The whole fucking building just shook. And my brother's like, I was backing up and I hit the wall. And he's like, where is Joey? And he's like, he's taking a shit. And I was like, I'm yelling like, I'm stuck in the bathroom. And the guy, like, I find like Mikey finally puts the truck in, pulls out. I get out of shitting, and he's just like, you're both fucking fired. Like, what the fuck? He's like, you're both drunk, and you just crash. One of you crashed a truck like dead into the wall and trapped the other one who was having the beer shits in the bathroom. Like, you're both done. And we walked out of there and went straight back to the bar and had ourselves some fired beers.
Some great brother bonding
Some shampoo effect beers.
That's a great brother bonding
and
story.
we thought it was hilarious. We like couldn't stop laughing. We're like, dude, we just got fired because you were shitting.
That's pretty great. classic Praino family story.
How about yours?
I think I've told this one too. Mine just involves me saying something extremely racist. My first job in L.A. was the Burke Williams Spa in West Hollywood on Sunset. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So
Pretty high-end spa.
It is. In fact, even in my short time there, every day was celebrities nonstop.
Yeah.
Every day.
AC Green came in for a massage. He left, and you're like, that dude smells like a horse. And you're like, oh, Jesus, you can't say that.
I mean, everybody. I remember the amount of celebrities we'd have, everybody from like Seth MacFarlane to Paula Abdul to the Wayans brother, the one who always plays gay in the movies, Sean, which makes me think, I don't know, he was, there's a little questionable stuff going on there. What's his name? The comedian from, he's in Curb. Richard
Lewis?
Richard Lewis. Funniest guy ever, probably. Anyway, celebrities all the time. So this is important because I'm working the front desk. I had to wear a tie.
Yeah.
I'm working the front desk. The front desk staff is all women. It's all women.
I just picture Ruther at the Burke Williams Spa in a clip-on tie.
It's all women, right? And these Middle Eastern guys walk in one day. This is like, hey, Ruther, welcome to L.A., bro. You can't be saying this shit. These Middle Eastern guys walk in, and I say to my coworker, if I hear something ticking, I'm running.
Oh, my God.
This is 2007. Not that matters. It's still blatantly racist.
Yeah, like I was like, what perspectives does that give us?
So she told my manager, like, what a bitch that, like, you're gonna run back a grown woman run instead of just being like, hey, bro, that's fucking off. That's fucking.
Well, that's the rule. Hear something, say something, right?
So she fucking runs back to the manager. Like 2 hours later, I get called my manager, and she's like, I'll never forget because what she said to me was, have you said anything offensive in the last few hours? And I'm thinking.
You're like, every single word that came out of my mouth. I am Andy Ruther, original Frat Boys of Comedy. I was running my set by a couple people here, and I was talking about shitting out Taco Bell.
Yeah. And Seth MacFarlane's like, you will never make it in this business.
Yeah.
And I go, I don't know. I don't think so. And she's like.
I think I might have called Seth MacFarlane a homo. Is that offensive?
She goes, well, whoever the girl's name was, came back and told me that you made an offensive joke about Middle Eastern people. And she's like, first of all, I'm Persian. And that was the first time I was like, what's Persian? Like, you're new to L.A. because you just heard the term Iranian.
Like, I played Prince of Persia on Atari.
So she goes, you're going to leave today.
You're going to leave today.
And we're going to – no, I wasn't fired. We're going to assess this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So I leave work that day. They take me off the schedule for the next week.
You're like, if you're going to fire me, can you call me? Because I don't accept packages from Middle Eastern people. Oh!
They bring me back in. They wait like a week. Two managers. It's the most L.A. thing ever. This big conference like, well, we were discussing it. It's two women, of course. And we just feel like, I don't know if you can work in the real world. We know you have this background in comedy. And we
don't know if you can. Can you imagine getting told, we don't know if you can work in the real world? You might be able to work in the fantasy world.
She's like, we don't know if you can separate this. And I remember I looked at her. I go, well, the reason I'm working at the spa is I just worked at a spa at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And I was a teacher. At this point, I just start listing all these things that I've been doing since I started comedy. And she's like, yeah, well, I just don't know because we've discussed it, and we're going to have to let you
You're like, wow, this has gotten serious. Terror threat level red, huh?
and I got the axe, and I was fired, and I was a dick at the end, and I go, it was one of those like 90-degree hot.
Some would say you were a dick from the beginning of this story, but that's just me.
I do remember when I got fired, I didn't even give a shit. I showed up wearing a Walt's Corn Roast T-shirt. That's when I got fired.
What's Walt's Corn Roast?
It's my dad's corn roast.
Oh, corn roast. Got it.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said Walt's Corn Roast. I was like, wow, double down on the racism thing, did you?
No, that'd be funny.
He was like, I came back wearing cornrows. I was like, I can't be racist. I have cornrows.
I'm trying to think of any other times I've been fired from something.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been.
I got fired from a telemarketing job in high school. It was really embarrassing because it was my brother's friend's dad's company. So, like, my family was so pissed. I basically was manipulating the system to get whatever it was, and I got caught. And my brother was so embarrassed. He goes, like, dude, that's my buddy's dad's company. You're manipulating a telemarketing system.
Savage.
You want another call?
Tug, do you have any good firing stories? Because this is a no.
It doesn't.
Ever been fired?
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've been fired besides.
Hey, Trevor, you got any good firing stories?
Yeah.
You want one more call or no?
Sure. Let's do one more.
All right, last call.
I don't do more calls. I'm the old Praino.
All right, you out of here?
See
All
ya,
right,
Tug.
thanks, Tug. Much love, buddy.
You don't have to take your garbage. You can put it in the garbage.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro?
You're trying to leave with your napkins.
Hey guys, this is Preston from Indiana, one of your Indiana DirtBalls, and I was just curious. I feel like just the Pacers are just so underappreciated and underrated, and I just feel like they're not getting as much love as they should be because they're way above where they were expected to be at the end of the season. So I was just curious as to say, see if you guys thought they could get past the first round, maybe even make a run. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm saying I think they can compete, and they're just not getting nearly as much love as I would like for them to. So I'm curious to get your opinion on that, and condoms are for Chris Collinsworth. Hate listening to that guy.
Yes.
Whoa, bro. Whoa. Lay off Collins.
I believe, are the Pacers 4 or 5 right now?
they're a 5 seed right now.
Yeah. I certainly think that they could beat a Sixers team should they draw them in the 4 or 5 matchup. I don't think Cleveland wants to play Indiana either. Although right now, the way the East has gotten mixed up, Cleveland would have Miami. I still think they'd prefer Miami to Indiana. I definitely think Cleveland would like Washington of all of those teams
Sure.
that are down there. But Indiana, certainly a surprise team. Oladipo, an all-star. Everybody acting like, Paul George is this fucking, everybody wants Paul George. It's like, hey, they got rid of him, and they got better. And they certainly deserve credit for that. With the right matchup, if Indiana draws a Philly, sure, they could win. I don't see Indiana beating Toronto, Boston, Cleveland. I don't see them making that kind of run. Now, could I see them giving somebody trouble in the second round? Yeah, I could. But honestly, I think that's going to be what I think those series that one team can't win is going to make the difference in the NBA playoffs. Like these matchups, like if the Warriors draw the Thunder without Steph, like that series, while I don't think the Thunder really have a great chance, could be difficult enough where that hurts them in the next round. So I see Indiana could win a round and could really cause mayhem for, other teams. But, like, how much do you want us, like, how much do Pacers fans, and I appreciate it, that wasn't the call, like, fuck you, talk about the Pacers. That was a respectful call. But, like, how much do you want us to talk about the 5 seed in the East?
Yeah.
Like we're also not like bonering out over the Washington Wizards,
Yeah.
So that's my take. Certainly, you got to give them credit for certainly doing way more than people expected them to do.
Well, it's if you look at their roster, I'm looking at it now. They got 6 guys in who average double figures.
Yeah.
And Stevenson's at 9.2 points. So I mean,
Yeah.
you almost have 7. It's just
Good team basketball,
that's what it is.
but not enough star power
No.
when it comes to playoff time.
No. Well, those are the calls. The hotline is 310-359-8365. I want to also say This will be dropped on the official 4-year anniversary of the denting.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. How do you feel, Andy?
I feel good, man. I'm happy to be alive.
Your denting just graduated high school. Your college-bound dent.
I'm debating.
I'm happy to be alive.
I'm happy to be. I am though. In all seriousness, I'm very happy to be alive. I will spend some time.
I'm happy to be alive. I'm glad that Persian who came to the spa didn't blow me up.
You know what though? We talked about DiVincenzo. I put all my shit out there.
Yeah.
So like, I don't have too many skeletons.
Right.
So it's like, you know what you're gonna get with me. I've done some fucked up shit in the past. I've said some dumb things.
Yeah. Well, we've said a million dumb things on this show.
Yeah.
But the point is like, that's why I say, like with DiVincenzo or whatever, it's like, first of all, it's one thing when you're 14. It's another thing, like, completely in context. The way people just, like, try to grab things completely out of context and say, like, whatever. Like, for example, like, we just, if anything were to ever happen, people could take that clip of me just, like, riffing on your story and be like, look at how fucking racist he is. It's like, he started with a racist fucking Middle Eastern joke about something he did when he was young and dumb, and then I jumped on board. But, like, people love to just go like, oh, look what said one time. It's like, what was said before that? What was said after that? What were they talking about? The way people just try to, like, and also, who's out to fucking get all these people?
Well, that's what I've said that on Dent Report. I've said if you wake up wanting to ruin someone's life or their livelihood, you're a sick individual.
Yeah.
You just are. I've never wanted to ruin someone's life. They had to have done something to deserve that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, Carmelo Anthony ruined my basketball franchise. So, like, I'd like to ruin his life. But, like, he hurt me first. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He ran the goat out of town.
Well, guys, give us some love on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Tell me something funny. See, I had a dent moment. 4 years going strong. Yeah, iTunes reviews, dirtysports.com. Andy Ruther, whatever. What do you got going?
JoePraino.com for all my shows, updating it every day now. Shout out to the DirtBalls who hit me up on DM, on Twitter, on Instagram, and are like, hey, dude, I saw you that you're going to be here. Like, I want to come. What's the deal? It's like, go on JoePraino.com, check out the shows. Hit me up if you want more details. Hit me up if you want, wherever I can do free tickets. I'd like to do free tickets. Wherever I can meet and greet people, I'm trying to meet and greet people. If you want me to come to your town, hit me up. I'm trying to get a lot of places this summer. So JoePraino.com for that. Affix Your Life on Twitter. Joe Praino on Instagram. I've decided I'm going to be a little more active on Instagram. I try not to. I've been trying to. But it's baseball season. So
Posts or stories?
all that stuff. Yeah, stories mostly. But I guess, I don't know. Because more and more dirtballs are hitting me up on Instagram.
Me too.
Which is weird to me, but whatever. So I'll put it out there. I'm Joe Praino on Instagram.
Well, because you know why.
Why?
Because, well, first of all, more people have used Instagram than Snapchat now for a while.
Oh, fuck Snapchat.
I agree. I have not posted a snap in over a year.
I haven't opened Snapchat since the first time I went after the new update, which everybody hated.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't understand it.
Well, you live right by the headquarters.
Snapchat's leaving Venice.
I know.
Cutting and running.
But they're downgrade. Dude, I think they're hurting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hurting. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But
it's one of the Kardashians and Rihanna. They threw some shade and like bankrupted their company.
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm not. One of the Kardashians tweeted it that Snapchat was garbage now, and they lost like $1 billion the next day. And then Rihanna was like, everybody off Snapchat, and they lost like another $1 billion.
Wow. Talk about the power those women have.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, follow us on Instagram.
If one of those girls could say my dick was great, that would really appreciate it. Rihanna's like, I need that Joe Praino dick. I'd be like, yeah, that's what's up.
I think I'm going to put out a picture on Twitter and Instagram of my face after I got out of the hospital from the denting.
Nice.
I've never put that out on social media. You've seen it.
Yeah, of course.
It's disgusting.
Vanilla Sky.
My brother has that. Whenever I call my older brother Greg, that's what pops up on his phone because it's the most fucked up looking. I can't even smile.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dirtballs, thank you for listening to the show. And thanks to Tug for dropping by.
Yeah,
right?
that was great.
Great little TC 50-minute.
Yeah.
All right, Dirtballs, enjoy your weekend. And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies. We did it.